Hi there, and welcome to A Fresh Start with Jackie. The objective of this program is to give you inspiring stories, personal experiences, and experts that will inspire you to have a fresh start. Life is full of second chances. All you have to do is take the opportunity to begin again and have your fresh start. Today, we have an expert on the show, a well-known relationship coach, Victor Salamba. Victor is here to answer a pertinent question that we always have. Can we get a fresh start in an abusive marriage? Can an abusive spouse have a fresh start such that the couple enjoys their marriage and have a marital bliss? Because every time we hear that people in abusive marriages have to leave for them to get a fresh start. Is that the case? Welcome to A Fresh Start with Jackie. Hi, Victor.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
And welcome.
Thank you so much.
Today, you are our expert as a relationship coach.
Yeah.
And most of the women that I have interviewed and most of the women that we meet get their fresh start. Their fresh start is defined after divorce.
Yeah.
And after divorcing an abusive man, either emotionally, physically, economically, just after the abusive relationship and an abusive marriage, that is when they say, I have gotten my fresh start. Is that the only way that we can get a fresh start? Or an abusive man can also get his fresh start within the marriage and people can have their marital bliss?
Actually, it is possible.
Okay.
It is very possible for the fresh start to happen within the marriage.
Okay.
Possibility is slim. We have to be realistic. That possibilities are very slim because also it depends the kind of abuse. Physical abusive men have a higher chance of changing than emotionally abusive men.
Wow.
So a fresh start with an emotionally abusive man is a bit tricky.
Okay.
I think there is a higher chance of Jesus coming back before than than someone who's emotionally abusing the wife to actually change.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that there's the difference. There's more probability for the physically abusive person to change than the emotionally abusive person to change.
Because with a physically abusive man, you're dealing with one aspect of him.
Okay.
Yeah, because physically abusive men have, first of all, a problem with themselves. They're men who hate themselves. You'll never find a man who beats his wife who loves himself. He hates his life, and his wife symbolizes his choices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's easy to narrow down to the source of why is he beating the wife? What is he angry about? With an emotionally abusive man, you're dealing with a couple of issues. Because an emotionally abusive man mainly has issues that pre-exist the marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are prehistoric, you know. You find that it's something that he has had his entire life. He has walked with it. To find it is the first problem. Number two, men are not wired to be very emotionally intelligent. I'm sorry to say that, but so the possibility for him even to know that is emotionally abusive is very slim. He might never know.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why most of them don't change. They wonder, why did she go? You know, why did she leave me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hear you when you say that emotionally abusive man, and the first thing is emotionally abused comes from deeper things that are beyond, are pre-existing from the relationship. Yeah. What are these things? Do we know that what are these things that could be pre-existing before the relationship that could trigger or could make a man susceptible to become emotionally abusive?
They're basically just two sources.
Yeah.
It's a father's wound or a mother's wound. The issue is which one and how do you find it?
Yeah.
Because, for example, if he has a father's wound, he is likely to come out as a sadist even more. Because the father never knew how to connect with him, the father broke him. And many men, they will never identify exactly when they were broken. So it's even difficult to find that it's this point in my life that my dad did 1, 2, 3. At times, even children who are taken to foster homes. Because to a child being taken to a foster home or raised by the grandparent, a child reads, I'm being rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, they, you know, no one loves me. So if it's a father's wound, you build a man who's a sadist, who's likely to be emotionally abusive based on that. If it's a mother's wound, then you can come up with two kinds of breeds. Mothers produce two kinds of emotionally abusive men. A mother produces one, which is a narcissist. Narcissists are born from their mothers.
Oh.
Yeah, mothers create narcissists. I know you're a mother, you're wondering how.
Yeah.
Because narcissists they're the most emotionally abusive men and don't know they are doing it.
Yeah.
A sadist will know he's doing it.
Yeah, because it's intentional.
Yeah, it's more intentional. A narcissist has no idea.
That is his way of life.
Yeah, and it's wondering, so why are you crying? Yeah, they say that the possibility of an emotional man changing is difficult because an emotionally abusive man, if he's a narcissist, he'll never know he's hurting you. And he'll be shocked that he's hurting you. And so a mother creates a man who has that kind of lack of empathy because the mother overshielded him and overprotected him, didn't give him chance to express emotionally, to take emotional responsibility. So as a child, taken that away by the mom, and this comes from who? From our broken mom. A mother was being broken by the father, and decided, let me just protect you from this very cruel world.
Okay.
Yeah, so he came out that way. The other now is an emotionally abusive mother. A mother who showed the son that there's nothing good you can do. Always putting him down, speaking badly to him. You know, all those things pick up in him, and now you're having a man who's walking wounded.
And repeating the same patterns that he actually went through. Because
in his life, now every woman is an enemy.
Yeah.
And if the wife, and you find with abusive men, emotionally abusive men, if you talk to them, they will always use one simple phrase. My wife doesn't respect me.
Yeah.
That's what they all say. She doesn't respect me. You wonder how. It's because she can't correct him, because if she corrects him, she rings the mother's bells.
Oh, yeah.
She rings the mother's bells. And because he learned how to survive, then he knows how to play this particular game. So emotionally abusive men, because it's more of deliberate or at times lack of the knowledge of it, it's hard to actually find where it starts from.
Yeah.
But physically abusive men, you can track it.
How do we track it?
Because with a physically abusive man, you just look at who's the first man he saw abuse
a woman.
Yeah, that's where it really starts from. You look at him, you ask him, who did you see beat someone? He'll tell you, my dad used to come home drunk, used to beat us. You know, my dad used to beat my mom. Yeah. So there are ways you can find the violence somewhere, you can pick it. Because there are men who are violent, but not violent to women. Yes. These are men who you find in their home, they used to fight. Him and the dad fought.
Yeah.
They were fighters, but never touched women. But a man who beats a woman saw another man beat another woman. And that was taught into him. Now, that is a man, you have to track it. But with physically abusive men, unfortunately, is you have a fresh start, first of all, while you're away. They need space.
So there's the aspect of space that will help any couple if they want a fresh start to be away. For a man who is emotionally abusive, and actually their main sentence is that you don't respect me, my question is, do they know how to be respected? Because an emotionally abusive person might still get a reason why you don't respect me. Do they know how they want to be respected?
They actually have no idea. That's the saddest thing.
Yeah.
An emotionally abusive man, if I can use this statement, is like a monkey with a machine gun. Yeah. He knows he's holding something, but he's careless with it. Yeah. So he's going to shoot at everyone. He will wake up and shoot everyone and say, you don't respect me, you've turned against me. He's always creating wars in his head that don't even exist. So an emotionally abusive man, because of the way he's wired, he even does not know what he's looking for. Because I said the wound he's carrying is older than the marriage. Remember, in a marriage, it's easier to fix a problem that the marriage has created. To fix a problem that is older than the marriage is a different pay grade altogether. So you find that now this man is complaining about one thing. If the lady says, fine, I gave you my salary, all of it, he'll move to the next thing. Because he'll
get another thing.
So he'll throw in something else. But now you're a bad mom. Quit your job, stay home. He'll always add one more thing and one more thing and one more thing, because even he cannot identify where is his problem beginning. So he has to project. He has to look for someone who's going to hurt him, and many of them cannot look back and say, it's my mom who hurt me, or it's my dad who hurt me. That one is one of the hardest things for any man to come to say.
But is it also because there's no awareness? They know it's like you have an issue, you have a problem, but you cannot just point a finger on it. Because an emotional issue to a man is confusing. Because he does not know really how to express it. So he feels actually weak or vulnerable
to try and even find it. Yeah. So they'll try and find a way to bury. In fact, most emotionally abusive men bury it.
Yeah.
They always want to divert to other things. Yeah.
But it is just manifesting in other areas,
Yeah.
in his behavior, in his character, in the way he's treating his children. But he also doesn't know that he's... There's the fact that you're not even aware that you're emotionally abusive.
Actually, most of them don't know.
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing, that most of them actually don't know.
Yeah.
He looks at the wife and wonders, why are you crying? Yeah. I just corrected you. Yeah.
Shida ni nini?
And the language is used, you wonder, it's not correcting.
Yeah.
You know? And the problem with them is that because women are emotionally wired, you always think you can fix him.
Yeah.
And that is how the fresh start has to happen when she has left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually what I am getting you see is you can't fix what you did not break or create.
You can't.
This is something that happened beyond the marriage, in his childhood, and you come in the middle of his life as an adult, and you try to fix it.
Yeah.
That is a tall order.
Yes. Because when you're coming back at that point in his life and you're coming to fix him, remember he has been with this problem longer than you. And you've come in as a new expression of this problem.
Yeah.
So all the bitterness he had that he has never known who it is for, you are the expression of his problem. So he looks at you and he sees this particular problem. And now because he was broken, remember broken men break others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's trying to break the wife every single day and break her. And over time, as you find, many people in emotionally abusive marriages stay longer than physically abusive ones. Because physically, we'll see you until you, Jackie, you have a black eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, run.
Yeah.
Emotional abuse, you'll tell us, no, he just had stress.
Yeah, you look for a language to give it meaning of what happened.
Because you're trying to reach him, you're seeing he's broken, and the woman in you wants to reach him. The woman in you wants to fix him, because you're seeing some form of, but the brokenness is beyond you. So the more you're coming to hold him, it's like trying to grab broken glass. He cuts you more. He cuts you more. He cuts you more. But when women live emotionally abusive marriage, very few remarry. But physically abusive marriages, they will remarry. That's a strange thing.
Because the heart and the brokenness from the emotional wounds is so deep.
You've worked.
Yeah, you've really worked.
Because it gets worse as he continues. As he grows, it gets worse. Yeah. So also it's good to look at what age are you discovering this? Because also men process emotional things differently according to their ages.
When are they emotional?
The best age.
Emotionally mature.
80.
Oh, that's a good one.
Catch him at 80. because earlier than that, in his 20s, he's invincible. He won't show weakness. Yeah. In his 30s, he's emotionally aloof. You know, in his 40s, he's on a different scale. So to know where he is will help you. But it's 80s.
You have given us beautiful insights. It is easier to have a fresh start when it is a physical abusive marriage than having a fresh start when it is emotionally abusive marriage.
Yes.
And for several reasons. It starts beyond you.
Yes.
And it takes so long before we say, I've been abused. Why does it take so long?
Women are natural fixers.
Yes.
And because women are fixers, and this is an emotional issue, she has a higher chance of seeing something vague that she's trying to fix. She's seeing emotions she can read, but can't grasp. This can get her lost in this cycle. Also, projects as well. Children make the best project. You know, the first one has come, you are there with boy, the second one, the third one. By the time you're realizing it and the kids have left and they have grown, you turn back and realize that you have nothing more to give. You gave to your kids, you poured into an empty guy, because a broken man has too many holes. No matter how much you pour, you can never fill.
Yeah.
It's always the next thing. You always put one, the next thing. So by the time she's done, she's tired. Yeah, she's absolutely tired. In fact, when women are moving out of an emotional abusive marriage, they tend to actually move with a lot of finality. They don't come back. Physically abusive marriages, they can come back. Because physically abusive men have a sense of emotional wisdom.
Okay.
That's why you'll find a man at the hospital with the wife rubbing their hand. And he punched her last night, but he's rubbing her hand. And the wife will openly say, "Niligongo na ng'ombe." You know?
Yeah. And these are the guys that bring you a lot of flowers, and you tell the doctor that, you know, it's him. And the doctor also says,
it can't be him.
It can't be him.
Because physically abusive men hide behind their charm.
Okay.
They hide behind that. They're very good in how they speak. They're very neat, very clean men. If you see them, you'd not know. I would say most women actually are afraid to tell someone. Because he's the kind of guy who beats the wife today, tomorrow is at the mother-in-law. Yeah, amempeleka hapo
Shopping.
Kitenge, nini, mom, you're my only mom. So by the time you're getting there, nakwambia, "Ai, ni wewe, my daughter, it is you.
There's something you're not
actually
doing.
you, something wrong with you."
Okay.
And so, and it's easier for a woman to come back because the emotional lie can bring her back.
Okay.
Can bring her back.
Oh, yeah.
But now, an emotionally abusive one, she has never received.
Yeah.
She has been giving, she's been giving. Then she got lost in the kids. When the kids leave, she turns around, looks at the man and realizes, I have nothing more to give. That's why she walks out. No matter what people say, the village, who, she doesn't even look back. It's done, she's washed hands and she's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are we able to have a fresh start? Can a couple have a fresh start if there's emotional abuse? And also, I think before you answer that,
Yes.
we are assuming that emotional abusers are men. Do we have women who also have this aspect as
Actually, we
emotional
do.
abusers?
We have women who are emotional abusers. The
Yes.
issue that is misplaced out there is that women are more of sadists.
Oh,
And emotional abuse, women are more of, for example, saying that my wife is a narcissist. That's almost impossible.
oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost impossible to find a woman who's a narcissist. Why is it impossible? Because narcissism is the absence of empathy, absence of emotional intelligence of some kind. Women naturally have this. No matter how short-circuited she is, a part of her is wired emotionally. So we have women who are emotionally abusive. But also remember that it's easier to heal an emotionally abusive woman.
ah,
Yes, it is easier to heal an emotionally abusive woman. Because an emotionally abusive woman is always attracted to a man who can heal her.
okay.
The problem is that now she attracted a man who can heal her, but the guy didn't come with the toolkit. So his software
Because
upgrade,
he didn't think healing was the job.
Yeah, so he entered and began now to fight her as well.
Yeah.
But men who have entered knowingly that my wife is emotionally broken and I can fix, it's easier for a man actually to do that for the wife.
So it is easy to heal, for a spouse to heal, for a man to heal an emotionally abused
Yes,
woman.
yes,
But it is not easy for a woman to heal
yes,
an emotionally abusive
man.
man.
Yes, because men will not, it's difficult for a man to go back and touch his emotional software and say, okay, I talk badly like this because my mom was like this.
Because they are not in touch with their software, the emotionally software.
He's not, he doesn't know where and that's why most men who are left that way. I've seen many of them coming to me and they're like, I don't know why she left. I don't understand. If you hear a man saying my wife is too emotional, it tells you his level of emotional capacity is low. So he married a woman and did not know what to do with her. And the woman is just thinking, okay, I can fix him, I can get there. And she spends her life working. I said emotionally abusive men, Jesus has a higher chance of coming back. Yes.
For them to heal.
Jesus has a higher chance of coming back. Those ones, it is God who heals.
So that we might not have a fresh start.
There it's very difficult.
To have a
very,
fresh
very difficult.
start.
I have seen a few cases that have happened, but as I've said, it has taken a different kind of intervention. It's taken a different kind of a wake-up call. Yeah.
Okay.
That's when some of them have woken up. Maybe the point of they have lost everything.
Oh.
Then they begin to regroup and they're at rock bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
But physical, emotional men, we can find. It's easier for such a man to be remedied, but also at a distance.
So the physically abusive man, it's easy to have a fresh start with a physically abusive man
Yes.
in a relationship, in a marriage right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to end in you going.
No.
What do they need to do?
First and foremost, separate.
It has to be done when you're separated.
Separate, yeah.
Okay.
Then the man begins to address what is the source of his anger.
Okay.
Two, the woman must also ask herself a very good question, which is never asked. Why did he choose me? That's the $1 million question.
But there's also, I think also there's also this assumption that you're always choosing us. there's also the question, why did I choose him?
Yes.
Because she chose.
Yeah.
The saying yes to him was a choice.
Yeah.
So why did I choose him and why did he choose me?
Yeah. What drew them together?
Yes.
Because we normally say that opposites attract, but that's false.
Yeah.
Yeah. In marriage, where like begets like.
Yes.
We're always drawn towards the dysfunction that we possess.
True.
So if I am broken, I'll always look for a woman who's broken.
Yes.
And she's likely to say yes because you have kindred spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's to ask ourselves also that the world has 3.5 billion women. Yeah. And there are 3.5 billion men. Why is it of all the guys they said yes to this one?
Yes.
Because also abusive women, if you look very well, you find that she's with an abusive man, she leaves. He marries an abusive man.
Yeah.
You wonder what was the pattern.
It's the same script.
Yeah, you find that
different.
Yeah, so also
casts.
her to go her own journey where they're separated to find what was it about me that made me a victim to this man. So both of them go on their journeys. Through their separate journeys is when now after a while, when dealing with the core issues, then they come now and deal with the marriage as an issue. Where did the marriage break? So you save the individuals first. When the individuals are saved, now they can say, okay, do I have capacity to try again? Yeah. And they try again slowly, slowly, knowing what the red flags are. Because the problem is that if the red flags reoccur, then there's a high chance of both of you, one, giving up, or two, saying...
Or going back to the same habits that we used to use to cope.
Yes.
And the habits that we used to use to cope were actually dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the same patterns where we were before.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. And remember, physical abuse always at some point ends up to become both physical and emotional.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very end, that's where it gets to. And that's where now you'll find she'll just say, Miss Yendi. He's my husband, Yendi. You'll call for prayers, do whatever you're doing. I am not going. I know he has a problem. I'm here to help him. If I abandon him, who'll take care of him? Now she's emotionally broken. Yeah.
Wow. And is there something that we miss from what are signals, the red flags that we miss out as women or as men who end up with abusive wives? Because there are some that some wives are also abusive. What are the signals that we miss?
Waswahili wanasema siku mzuri hujulikana asubuhi. I believe that you know, anyone I've sat with in my office, I've always asked one question: did you see?
Yeah.
They tell me, I didn't see. Then we begin to walk through dating. And then, oh, by the way, I saw this person we were dating and he pushed me.
Yes.
You see? What tells you at marriage he won't punch you? Yes, you know. I saw when you were dating he was emotionally aloof. I saw when you were dating we'd sit, he'd talk about himself all through. Never asked me how I was doing.
So what makes us miss that?
Because we
miss that as a signal then.
Because one, we all want to be accepted. It's our desire to be accepted. Two, the idea of a relationship versus the reality of it. You know, the unfortunate thing is that we never sit and think, by the way, after all is said and done, if I look at this person critically, if we remain the two of us, would I still choose them? Yeah.
In this way,
yeah, you know, can I survive with this person? Yeah. And then we choose to ignore, and people think that marriage is an antidote. Marriage is not an antidote. If someone is a criminal, marriage is not the remedy for criminality. No. So it's good to ask yourself, because marriage will always amplify. If I'm a liar, marriage increases my lying. Marriage never fixes anything. So at times that idea also, and our deadlines, you know, I have to be married by 35, I have to be done by 35, and he's breathing, and we can continue. But at times, it's good to slow down a bit. Look at what you cannot like. Look at what has scared you. Many times, what you are afraid of while you're dating becomes your reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so you attract it.
Yeah, and you picked it.
Yeah.
You picked it. Okay, I saw the way she talked. That worried me. I told her that my mom was sick. The way she talked, I didn't like it. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what you normally miss. There are things you're afraid of, and if anything gives you fear when you're dating, stop. Yes. That is a red flag. God is fighting for you. Please accept to be fought for. Please.
I like the fact that God is fighting for you.
Yes.
So what advice would you have for people today who are in an emotionally abusive marriage?
There's only one Messiah.
Can they have a fresh start?
There is only one Messiah. I begin by saying that. There's only one Messiah, and it's Jesus. So you can't fix this person. get yourself fixed. When you're fixed, you can be able to be sober enough to know, can I stay longer? Can I believe? At times we support our broken spouses from a distance, and they become better because we are okay. Save yourself first. You are not the Messiah. There was one Messiah, and research shows it's not you. So please just take time and heal yourself. Yes. Heal yourself. After you heal yourself, secondly, also allow them to choose that they want help.
Yeah.
Don't make them want help. If they don't see it, then they just don't want help. Allow them to see it. If they never see it, then it's okay. But give yourself space to heal and let them go on their journey.
Yeah.
Let them pursue their own healing. After that, you can discuss paper 2.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you very much. With a sense of humor, you have shared very important facts that we all need.
Thank you.
Of course, there are a lot of relationships right now that are going through challenges, both abuse, physical and emotional, and you've shed in a lot of light in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it was good having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, you have heard it from our expert today that emotionally abusive marriages hurt so deep that it could not, having a fresh start is not easy. But if you're in it right now, it's good that you seek help for yourself, support yourself so that you are stronger enough to make a decision on what to do. For the physically abusive marriages, it is possible for you to have your fresh start. You need counseling, you need help, and you need support. And this help and support is out here and is available. And just to go back to you, how can people reach you for support?
I have a very active Facebook page. Victor Salamba is my Facebook page. If you go to Facebook, you'll find me there. Also, I'm a relationship coach. I see people every week. So if you want a one-on-one, you can also still go online, my Facebook page. You'll find all my contacts there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So seek help, seek support so that you can have the marital bliss or the relationship that you are meant to have. Thank you very much. My name is Jackie and you're watching A Fresh Start with Jackie. Remember to subscribe, press on the bell notification button so that you're notified anytime that we post new videos. And also if there's somebody out there that will benefit from this video, don't forget to share it with them. Comment below the lessons that you took from today's Fresh Start with Jackie.